Hello and welcome to Chapter 8. The B position occurs when the hands move from the A position in the start to the launch position area over the rear shoulder. At the same time, the front side of the body rotates slightly inward, transferring weight to the back side. This is as the pitcher's arm begins to move forward in his delivery. Now, the B action of the hands in hitting can also be thought of much like a boxer beginning to throw a pitch or a snake coiling back to return a strike. It should be a smooth and quick action that helps to create and generate hand speed and bat speed and be tied in with the hip rotation. And when that happens, boy, you've got a great swing generating some power. Now, something else that's very important is that a hitter needs to trigger on every single pitch. Now, it's during the triggering period is when the hitter makes the decision of yes to swing or no to take the pitch, depending on whether the ball is a strike or whether it's hittable or not based on his read. Now, many young hitters try to make the decision of to swing or not to swing after the ball is on them, and then they decide to move to from the A position to the B position, and this is too late. It causes a rush swing, an uppercut. It just doesn't work. So we need to review the important B position elements, and we're going to use the very detailed photo illustration here, and we're going to start with number 1. And number 1 begins with the curved arrows indicating a slight inward rotation of both the front shoulder and the front hip as the hands move back towards the launch position. This inward rotation is the movement that transfers the weight to the back side, or it runs alongside of that action. Now, in number 2, the yellow ball located above the hitter's forearm in the image indicates the general area of the hands in the A position. The arrow pointing towards the hitter's hands is the proper direction the hands should travel towards the B position. When the hands are placed in the proper A position, the triggering action will have the forearm moving through and out of the top back corner of the strike zone, as denoted by the red box. Hands that do not move at all in this manner or do so in a limited fashion are considered dead hands, and that's a big flaw. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, in number 3, the hitch, which is a movement of the hands that does not lead directly to the proper launch position or the proper B position, is a movement that generally adds another unnecessary step in the process of hitting, and it's a terrible flaw because it creates an additional element to the swing. Now, for instance, instead of the process of the swing going, say, A, B, and C, you end up having A, hitch, B, and C. So you've got that fourth element that's added, and that's totally unnecessary, and it creates a lot of problems. In most cases, as in our hitch image that we'll show you, the hands will go from a low position in the strike zone and then move towards the strike zone in an uppercut type of fashion. However, now some less severe hitches can be allowed, as they sometimes are a built-in starting mechanism in taking the hands to the launch or the B position. This is only recommended, though, for those hitters who have advanced experience. In number 4, this hand action, known as hand sagging, is very similar to a hitch. Hand sagging starts while the hitter is still in a set position waiting for the pitch. The hands begin to creep down, lower and lower in the strike zone while the batter is waiting the delivery. The harm here is because the hands are down low in the strike zone, a pitch that is up in the strike zone will be approached with an uppercut swing, a low to a high. Also, when the hands sag, they have a tendency to move away from the midline of the body back towards the catcher. Because of this, there's a greater tendency for the hitter to then bar arm lock, with the bottom hand arm being totally extended. Now, hitters must start from a position when heading into the contact zone from a point on or above the top of the strike zone. That's very, very important. That's going to keep you on top of the ball, and it's going to cut down on a lot of uppercutting. Now, in number 5, the elbow position moves from the starting 45-degree angle of the set to a point either at or close to a 90-degree angle. Number 6, the top hand moves from a relaxed state in the set position, and the grip begins to intensify as the hands move back into the B position. It's important to note that some young hitters, as they reach the top of their trigger in the B position, will lay their top hand down with the palm facing up before taking the bat into the contact zone. Now, when this occurs, the bat head has a tendency to drop, causing an uppercut swing as you go through the contact zone. It's important to remember that the palm of the hand should maintain a 90-degree angle from the A position up into the B position. In number 7, notice here that the bat head stays in a 45-degree angle throughout the set to the trigger position. Now, this is a point where an instructor might find bat wrap if the bat head gets around behind the head too much. In number 8, the head and the eyes stay in a balanced and still position. Here during the triggering phase is where the hitter will begin to locate the ball and begin tracking and reading the pitch. It's important to emphasize that the hitter should use his eyes only to track the pitch. Many younger hitters will begin to move their head forward towards the pitch, beginning to pull their head out away from the plate, even before the swing actually is halfway there, especially on inside pitches.